Sometimes I feel a little bit used on set if I have to shoot for a brand which I don't really like, where I have to take action because otherwise it's too late, you know.
Can you mention one or two moments that you really felt vulnerable?
I come from a family which is not very talkative about deeper feelings or
Hello everyone, we're here today for our very first YnsideOut interview series. We're here with Bauke Bakker.
Hello.
A very good friend of mine, and we're here in our hometown Amsterdam in a beautiful hotel, and we're going to talk about Bauke.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. Nice to be here again. It was, I think, through a mutual friend that we met.
Yeah.
And the story of your underwear inspired me, so I think that has been a topic of our talks and what we've been doing in life. Yeah. I'm a videographer and a model and an actor. It gives me the opportunity to be creative, to express myself in the creative field, work with cool gadgets, because I also like cool gadgets. Yeah. And to work with nice people, create nice, meaningful stories. That's what I aspire. And in my free time, I like to move a lot. I'm a breakdancer, so expression also comes in the form of movement for me. It keeps me sane, it keeps me fit, it keeps me strong. And well, as I get older, I really feel the urge that it's getting more and more important to keep on doing it because resting is rusting. Next to that, I'm really an outdoor person. So I like to go surfing, I like to go hiking, biking, I like to be in the wind, in the rain, I like to dip in the cold water, I like to dip in the warm water, I like to travel, you know, cool. I like to do cool stuff.
How would you perceive yourself in general? I mean, not specifically about underwear, but more like who you are.
I characterize myself as a creative, dynamic, happy person.
Yeah. Did it change in the last few years? I mean, you got a child.
Yeah, for sure. I becoming a father definitely changes a lot in your life. It prioritizes certain things, and you have to let go of certain other things. And this also means that the choice of wearing more functional clothing became more part of my life, other than just wearing things for fun or not thinking about stuff. So I'm more conscious of the choices that I make, not only in the way that I try to buy more sustainable or responsible brands, but also how I'm wearing it, why I'm wearing it, and how it makes me feel, and if it serves me or not. And if it doesn't serve me, well, I won't throw it away because I don't like throwing things away, but it's sometimes a little bit hypocritical to be shooting for a brand which produces shit quality, or in bad circumstances, or I don't even know. Like, basically,
do you go into that, like with a brand, or when you are asked to, or do you know that before you start?
If there will be a brand which I really oppose, then I might say no. But usually, if it's some other big brands, you kind of expect that they might be doing fast fashion, or that they produce not in a really good way. Yeah, I mean, the chimney has to be smoking.
It's true.
So it's a little bit hypocritical. Sometimes you have to work for a brand which you don't really feel like you are supporting. But then on the other hand, you don't have to tie yourself personally to that brand. It's just your physique.
Yeah.
So it feels a little bit, sometimes I feel a little bit used on set if I have to shoot for a brand which I don't really like. But then on the other hand, at the end of the day, I don't feel any connection to that brand whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that said, I really aspire and I really want to work more for brands that are meaningful, sustainable, responsible. And I try to navigate my actions towards that. And I hope in that way more jobs like that come to me.
That's wonderful. But what aspects of life do you really prioritize, and how do you maintain balance in your life? Because you're doing so much things, and being a dad, and you're traveling everywhere, and etc. I have a lot of respect for this, but how is this for you? And do you encounter situations where you?
So we have to laugh because we are young fathers. So we know that traveling is not good for your family. So every now and then I need to travel for work, and usually I was really enjoying that a lot. But now having the responsibility of a child, and also like the quality of your relationship, I feel that traveling on my own for jobs, it's not a really good thing. So right now I'm prioritizing family, but also mental health and also physical health. And I think it's a synergy between those. If you feel good in your head and if you feel good in your body, then you are able to give a lot of love. And if you're able to give a lot of love, then you will feel good about yourself, which improves your mental health. And if you feel that mental strongness, you will feel that you want to be strong in your body as well. So it's a synergy. And if one of those pillars starts to lack, then you have to make sure that in some way you can, balance it out.
It looks like you are able to find the rituals that keep you in balance, but maybe also for the listeners, it's nice to also go a little bit more in the period before that, and when did you hit the
fan? At one point there was a situation where I thought, okay, I really have to take action now, and if I don't do it, my relationship is going to be under a lot of stress, and who knows what's going to happen then. And sometimes when that happens, things are irreversible. So I felt like this is the moment where I need to take responsibility of my own action, and I have to go into this personal development.
But when did this came in? Were you doing the dishes, or you were sporting? What moment did it came, the realization?
So my girlfriend, she likes to take care of the household as well, because the three of us were very much in love, and then when somebody else doesn't do a task, you will be happy to do that task. But at one point she was doing a lot of tasks, and she said she wasn't able to do that anymore, and this wasn't the way for her. And that happened a few times, and after a couple of times I really felt like, okay, this is gonna be like a critical point where I have to take action, because otherwise it's too late, Otherwise the decision has already been made when I wasn't paying attention. So I was like, okay, I have to take action now, because certain ideas start to grow in her head that make me like scared, like, okay, but what happens if it doesn't turn out well? No. Okay, so now I have to really avoid that situation, and it's up to me. The ball is in my court.
Was it a smooth ride before? Have you have you experienced your life in general?
I think my mentality is always a little bit like showing your best side, and not showing too much if it's hard or difficult, or if you're in pain, or if you're in a hardship. Just wave it away and just focus on the positive things and be happy. But the bad things in life are also there. Obviously, there's always clouds in the sky, and there's always somewhere it will always be raining. It's not always sunny. So in the last year, I took on that challenge to personally grow and to feel like my shortcomings, or the things that I actually stumble upon in my own personality, which I don't like, which are attention deficit, or just a lack of focus, or always trying to go further, do more, always being unsatisfied with what I get, and always looking at the next thing. Those are things that I felt that I had already in myself, but I wouldn't let anybody know. I basically wouldn't let myself know. I would just go faster, more, and do more stuff, and it basically overshadows that feeling which is always there in the corner, but at one point that's growing and you feel like, okay, this is that one thing that is there, I have to take care of it at one point. So definitely it has not been a smooth ride all the way, but it's, if you don't focus on it yourself, then you hardly notice it.
What was a specific moment in your life that you really felt a very deep, satisfied feeling, maybe an intimate feeling? Is there one, or are there more you would like to share? And why specifically was it that you felt like that?
Of course, the birth of my son, or the moment when you pick him up at the daycare and he comes running to you. You know, everything is just fine. It doesn't matter what's happening at that moment. It's just that feeling fills you up so much with joy and happiness.
Maybe just also for our listeners to have your daily schedule. Do you incorporate rituals that really make you balanced?
But in stressful moments and in a fast life and a very irregular schedule that I have as a model or as a filmmaker, where my schedule is every week, it's a little bit different. It's really hard to find that structure. So it's a big struggle to get that structure and to incorporate the things that actually make me feel good, because you really have to have either somebody or yourself in a way telling you like this is what you need. You need to stretch in the morning, because then you will feel good and your mind will feel good as well. It's not only your body that you're stretching, it's also basically your brain that you're stretching.
How often do you exercise in a week?
It depends a little bit how busy the week is and if I'm at home or not. But I would say I would go like 2 or 3 times a week. I do some exercise. If I have to, I'm living in Haarlem. If I'm working in Amsterdam, I try to take the bike. So I bike there and back. So that's 50 k's, which is about 1.5 or 2 hours biking, which is nice. I like to go surfing. However, my foot is injured right now, so I can't go surfing. But otherwise, I've been surfing this week for 2 times. Different moments where there's more or less sports. I also feel like that's okay. I don't have to have every day with all the ingredients. No. As long as every month have all the ingredients. So it can be a week where I'm busy and I focus on my work, and I'm fine with the idea that I don't do that exercises too much. As long as the next week I do it.
You reflect on it. So going back in the time, maybe even way back in time, can you mention 1 or 2 moments that you really felt vulnerable, and why actually?
I think one of the moments that comes to mind right now is the moment when I had this conversation with my girlfriend about things aren't running that smooth, and I really felt like I have to change. And I come from a family which is not very talkative about deeper feelings, or not very going into what you're actually feeling in a certain situation. So under the we had some professional help in how you can actually get a good conversation together, talking about difficult things. Like, let's say
you and your girlfriend.
Like, let's say a coach, a relationship coach. And in those sessions, I really felt the vulnerability, talking about how certain triggers, certain difficult points, things that make me angry or sad or scared, how it actually makes me feel, and where does it feel, and what is actually my desire, or what is actually the thing that I want out of this situation, or the thing that I don't want in this situation, and why does it hurt me so much, or why does it trigger me so much. And in those moments you really feel like you're naked. You strip yourself of your thick jacket, which protects you against the weather.
Yeah.
You're opened up, and anything can hurt you at that moment. It's like a bad word can make you fall apart, and you're there. And then if you trust in that you are saying something which is true to the heart, and you trust in the idea that something good will come out, you are like basically laying naked, and you're trusting that you're not going to be run over by anything.
Yeah. Wow. And so you were, through these sessions, you were able to also meet each other in a different perspective on your own in-depth fears and etc.
Yeah. These sessions really make you zoom in on what certain behavior does to the other person and certain actions, without even having to do something about it. Just acknowledging the fact that the feelings are there, and that is giving so much insight and so much respect for each other's feeling and each other's behavior. That only that is it's so useful. I would recommend it to anybody. It's like personal training for your mind, basically.
I want to ask something about love in general. How do you define love? It's a very open question, but in short, what does it say to you? What does it mean?
How I would define love to just show that you love that person without without you having to have anything back.
And how is it for yourself? Like love.
Self-love?
Yeah.
I think self-love starts with telling yourself that you are good as you are, or great as you are, and that every life is different. So anything that makes you doubt yourself, you shouldn't pay attention to that, and you should make a recognition that you are the person that's in charge of loving yourself.
But this is quite interesting. Yeah? So self-love is actually a very difficult element in our society, I believe. Especially when I go back in my life, but has it been always easy for you to feel this self-love?
I think becoming a father made me get closer to myself, more in touch with myself, and more accepting myself. And I think that acceptance of yourself, it shows, and it makes people love you more. I think my perception is how that works is if you become insecure about something, and if you pay too much attention to what other people think of you, then you start to make an image of yourself which you think works, what people will like, but actually it's not the reflection of your true personality. And if that grows apart, then you will feel disconnected, and people will also feel the disconnection. You might still be a nice person, but you lose a little bit of your purity.
Intimate, but how is your relationship to sexuality, and maybe also the mental state?
So, like I said, I was raised in a family very beautifully and nice, and with a silver lining, and very comfortable, but also sometimes avoiding difficult conversations and deeper conversations that might be uncomfortable. I think that made me into a person that doesn't really open up easily. Maybe nowadays a little bit more, but usually I wasn't very open about things that are within my deeper self. I was basically a little bit afraid to be vulnerable, and I think talking about sexuality or talking about love, it's basically opening up and being vulnerable. So I think back in the days when I wasn't opening up about anything about me personally, also the part of intimacy and sexuality was not being discussed and not being developed. But now, as I, together with my girlfriend, as we open up about certain things in our relationship, I also feel that sexuality is becoming more talkative. It's becoming more something that I'm able to talk about, or able to feel actually what is there. Because if you don't talk or think about it, you don't actually notice it's there anyways. I still feel like it's very scary also, because I'm just not used to that, talking about intimacy and about your like sexual desires. I'm a very different person now that I used to be. And I'm very happy with my development, and I feel even more than ever that there's a potential to grow. And I feel like the dynamic character of my personality, it's so it gives me a lot of energy, and it gives me a lot of motivation to change into the person that I desire to be.
Thanks for opening up, and thanks for opening up in general about who you are and what you
My pleasure.
encounter in this life. Yeah,
it was lovely having a talk.